And how many new people do we have on the call today? Give me a one if you're brand new to our call. Oh, okay. We have a few. So let me get started with the screen share, Bob.
Yeah, no problem.
So, in my slideshow. Okay, let me get my chat up there for a second. Now, we're going to start out today a little different than we normally do. So I'm going to ask everybody the questions I normally start out with. Particularly, I'm going to focus on new people because we're going to judge by your experience what has happened to you in previous times. How many of new people have you ever been in any kind of opportunity before? Give me one if you've been in an opportunity, new people now. So it's not new to you. Or two if you've never been. Okay. So here's my question to you. How many of you have made, after expenses, at least $500 a month in any of those opportunities you've ever been in? Give me a three if you've ever made at least $500 over the cost of your expenses monthly. Give me a four if you've never done it. This is for new people now. Four. So my question to you is why? And I think we're going to cover the answer for you. But part of it is you lack the training or help from above to learn how to do the business correct. Okay. And the business model has several weaknesses built in that tend to work against you. If I ask that question to 100 people, how many made over $500 a month, about 15% would say they had, and 85% would say, no, that hadn't happened for me. Well, folks, that's not a good number, is it? There's nothing positive about 85% or whatever the number may be, not making enough that they intend why they joined to start with. They join to improve their lives, right? So what happens when you start to go sponsor people? And if they don't make any money, how long are they going to stay in your business before they drop out? New people. How long before the people you sponsored brought in your business to try and create something? 3-4 months maybe, right? And after 3 or 4 months of them dropping out, you have to go find more people, right? Funnel marketing, dropping more in at the top, then fall out the bottom. How did that work for you? How did it work for you? Didn't work very well, right? But you love the business model, right? We all did. So if we could solve a couple issues for you, if we could show you a way that, number one, nobody ever drops out on you, right? Zero dropout. Could you see yourself building something special, doing it one time and actually starting to create an actual business? Do I have your attention? Give me a 5 if that has your attention. Ah, I actually have people below me making more than me, guys. And Bob has people below him making as much or more than him. Nature of the beast. So let's explore something. I'm going to add one more thing before we start into the actual presentation real quick. If we could show you a way that you only paid one time, and all future monies for whatever upgrades or anything you have to do with the company every month would come out of your profits and not out of, off your credit card, would we have your attention? Give me a 6 if that has your attention. All right. Are you starting to see a picture here that this may be a little different than anything you've been exposed to so far? This is going to be so dramatically different, and you'll understand here real soon just why. So if you're ready to get started, give me a 10 if you're ready to start, guys. All right, we're ready. So we're Alpes, okay? And together we're going to reach heights that most people have only ever dreamed of. Alone we go quicker, but together we go much farther. Now, you have to be 18 years or older to participate. The results obtained within the Alpes community, we can't guarantee. We can show you what we've been able to do. We won't discuss how much money we make, but we will discuss how the numbers work. Okay, we're not financial advisors. Your effort and different factors will determine your personal result. Okay, now there's a basic rule: what you put in is what you're going to get out. The effort you put in is how you're going to do. If you plug into our system, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, you'll understand and you'll succeed if you'll plug in to our system. Okay? We do encourage a realistic approach and careful management of your expectations. All right, our values: generosity, respect, authenticity, coherence, and engagement. Okay? We're the new age model of opportunity. We're going to put more money in people's hands much quicker compared to other existing legal models. Now I like to rephrase that. The Alps will put more money in average people's hands than any other legal opportunity on the planet, folks. Everybody understand what I just said? Average people. We're not talking the whales. We're not talking that top 15% of a company. We're talking about all of us, average people. Okay? The Alps is the fruit and ideas reflection of people that took 7 years to develop what you're seeing. The business started in Quebec, Canada. Okay? The community administrators have nearly 200 years experience in this industry. The objective is to help people from all walks of life create a substantial income that can change their lives over a period of time through strong leadership, network growth, and daily shopping. I got kind of gave you a clue there, daily shopping. Network marketing and online direct sales industry. Approximately 1% of 13 has tried either network marketing or online direct sales. Around 120 million today are actively involved in online direct sales worldwide. It's a $200 billion a year industry. and we just cracked the surface. The vast majority of participants claim they have spent more money than they have earned. Low to no return on investment, right? We kind of talked about that. Yeah, you're right, Robert. But we've covered our bases on that. So the opportunity. Oops, I can't get away with that. I can try to slide that down a little. All right. So we're an international company in 160 countries. In our personal group, between Bob, myself, and Robert, I'm going to say we represent somewhere around 60 countries currently that we're aware of. Okay? You have nothing to sell. And we'll explain that in a little bit. You're not out there selling soap, vitamins, or anything of that nature. We let people shop through our mall daily. You simply follow the natural process and your income will grow organically and exponentially. And Bob and I kind of talk and tell our story of our experience from when we started. So, the Alpes will create longevity. This is the most important thing I can say to you. Longevity, right? Who wants to give me a 5. Do you want to, if you think longevity is important in this industry? How many of you had a company close the doors on you? Give me a 6 if you ever experienced that, guys. The door got closed about the time you might have started just making some kind of money. A lot of fun, isn't it? Or lack of, okay? So we've set up a process, I can't say I, the company, which will have a sustainability through a simple process, which is daily shopping. Why? Because people shop online. How many people pay Amazon $15 a month to save a little bit on shipping? Anybody here had Prime? Yeah. We all pay that $15, right? What would happen if you could get paid every time somebody shops? Instead of Amazon getting that money, they give you a piece of it. Okay. Now, I'm going to kind of go slow in this area because I want this to be able to sink in. Okay. Sink in. We have 3 compensation plans, 3 different ones built with what? The same exact people. Build it once, you build it 3 times. And all 3 of them is a separate income that will nonstop take care of you. And it will gain month after month, week after week, in the same fashion. We have a 2x20. I call this the mirror 2x20. And it's a forced matrix, folks. How many people here know what a forced matrix is? Not a binary, because binaries, let me use a bad word. Binaries suck. Okay. So, if you know what a force matrix is, give me a 5 if you know what a force matrix is. Give me a 6 if you do not. Oh, we got a couple 6s. All right. For those 6s, people that are 6, All a force matrix means is you have 2 people on your first level. You have no more than that. That's all you can have. If you sign 3 people or 4 people up, they're going to fall on the second level or third, wherever they fall. So they fill in underneath you, but not on your first level. Okay. In some companies, we the terminology is called spillover. We despise that word. We do not like spillover. And we will talk about why here in a little bit. What does too wide mean? Robert, too wide means that you can only bring in 2 people on that first level. It doesn't hold any more than that. Okay, that's it. The second level holds 4 people. The third level holds 8 people, and so on, so on, so on. That's a force matrix. So we go 20 levels deep. Now, this is our mall. This is 1/2 of our mall income, folks. 1/2. The other half is called a unilevel. How many people know what a unilevel is? Give me a 1 if you know what a unilevel is. Give me a 2 if you do not. And we're going to cover this in great detail. All right. We got somebody doesn't know. A unilevel has no width. So how many people you personally sponsored are going to go that wide? If you bring in 5 people, you're going to be 5 wide on your first level. But the unilevel only goes down 5 levels. Has no width. That's correct. You direct sponsored, they're direct sponsored, they're direct sponsored, and so on. 5 levels down. See that? So we're going to break this down and show you how it works. Anybody want to see where the money comes from? Give me a 10. You want to see where the money, how we make money from these two? Got a bunch of 2s when I was looking for 10s. All right. Oops, I went too far. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do it right. We'll do it right here. And we'll have to skip over the next, well, let's just go do it the right way. 3 ways to join a community. As a member, right? You participate in shopping 10 levels deep. You can earn income from 2,046 shoppers. Income earning potential from 2,046 shoppers. Okay? No, Amazon doesn't send you any money. VIP. Now, I'm going to break down the VIP and how it works, guys. The VIP pays a $129 one time, then $29 a month. This is not relevant unless something happens in particular, which we're going to go in the next screen and show you why. Everybody gets $25 in advance cash credit, ACC. What does that mean? That means you get $25 put into a wallet for you to shop with. Well, Gary, what's that mean? It means you're not pulling out for your credit card to buy something every month. You got money already sitting there for you to use it. You're not reaching in your wallet, guys. Do we have anybody's attention? Give me a 5 if that has your attention in any way. All right? Not reaching in your wallet. Right? What do most companies do? Most companies want you to buy, and maybe buy a little more, just to qualify. Right? Some companies have minimum monthly purchases as you go up the ranks. The higher you get, the more you need to spend to get qualified. Nothing like that here. Okay. A VIP member can participate 12 levels deep and earn from 8,190 shoppers. It kind of is, Bruce, but I'll explain it here. I go into great detail on where that 25 comes. 20 of it you're actually paying, 5 is actually being gifted to the company itself. Now, you participate in immediate payout of the compensation plan, step 1. Now, in order to become a VIP member, Diana, actually, we have 3 compensation plans. Okay. Each one is separate and creates its own separate income. So there's 2 of the compensation plans. One's a 2x20 force matrix. One is called a 2x20 mirror force matrix. And then there's the unilevel. 2 of the compensation plans pay monthly, once a month. However, the other pays daily as things happen. As people go through upgrades or come in, those are instantaneous into your wallet in your back office. Okay? Well, we can cover a little deeper if you'd like, but there's going to be videos that cover each one of these in the back office. Now, to be a VIP member, something unique happens. You come in as an ambassador, which is cost of $129 a month, $9 a month. Your cost is $129, but it's not coming out of your pocket. You pay this one time. Okay. Thereafter, it comes out of profits. Now, what is the requirement you need to do to maintain the ambassadorship? You got 30 days to do what? To bring in your first person. Okay. If you do not bring in that first person, you will revert from ambassador over back down to VIP member, and that's where that $29 a month will come in. Okay. We teach you to get you 2 people and be done with it, so you're qualified all the way through 20 levels. That's important. Now, when we built this, we built it uniquely in a way that hadn't been done before. It was done in theory on paper, but nobody ever did it. Which is what? 2, helping 2, helping 4, helping 8, helping 16, right? Write that down. New people, write that down. You hadn't heard that before. This is new. So again, we get to $25 in the ACC. We now get paid up to 20 levels, and we have income from up to over 2 million shoppers. Folks, anybody think you might have a little profit if you could build up to over 2 million shoppers beneath you? Give me a 3 if you can almost envision this, but just not quite yet. They had a surcharge in at the time. That's what that was. So let's kind of break this down and give you the vision. The Alpes will have well over 1 million in the first 12 months. We're actually exceeding the number in this group right here between Bob, myself, and Robert, we've exceeded what the company expected to have in its first 90 days of business. I'll repeat that again. We have already exceeded in this group alone the number that the company envisioned having after 90 days open to the public. That's a big deal, guys. It really is. We're ahead of track to get to 1 million in 12 months. Now, you participate in a median compensation plan, which we're going to cover. Margaret, there's the 3 options. Okay. When you come in, you have the option of $9 a month, 45 for 6 months, or $81 for the year for your back office. So depending what you chose, dictate the price. Okay. So let's move on. Cash back for future shopping. Okay. All members are shoppers. It doesn't matter who you are. $9 for your back office. 20 goes into what? The shopping profits payout plan. Remember, we talked about $25. It had to come from somewhere, so we're going to show you where it came from. 20 came from a specific place, right? And the company gave you 5. That's where that $25 came from. ACC gave you $25. Yeah, but only 20 was put in. The ACC replaces your shopping obligation because it resembles shopping. You just get to choose what you want. Okay, you choose what you want. You're just not reaching in your back wallet every month after month, buying some kind of auto ship, right? We're doing a kind of an auto ship. It's just not, you're just not paying anything for it. Okay, we're using profits. That makes sense, guys. If you purchase a $50 product per se, right? And it has $10 in cash back, they're going to give you to put the 10 into your what? Your bank, your mall bank. So, and now instead of having X number of dollars in there, you've already got $10 towards next month. Okay. You have the 25 that they're going to put in. Now you got $10 of cash back off of something you bought. It's starting to get interesting, guys. You have $15 left over for next month. There's no cash back when you use ACC because it's already been commission paid on it. So now let's have a little fun with it, guys. Want to show you real quick how this would work. So when somebody buys something from the mall, whether they use ACC, points, whatever, however it's bought, maybe it's just somebody from the outside buying, doesn't make a difference. It's all going to go into 2 places. The 2x20 matrix, 50% of all the profit go into there. It's 100%. The company does not take any money out. 100% of profits go right back in to the mall. So if the company pays $30 for a product. It sells in the mall for 50. How much profit was generated? Where's my mathematicians out there? How much money was made on that product if it costs 30, it sells for 50? 20 bucks. So if 50% of that $20 goes into the 2x20, right? Well, that's easy math. That's 50 cents per level, 20 levels, right? So 50%. The other 50% went where? Where did they send the other 50%? Into the unilevel, right? Remember, unilevel and the mere 2x20 are tied to the mall. All right? There's our unilevel. You get 50% on your first level, 20 on your second, 10 on your third, 10 on your fourth, 10 on your fifth. So let's break it down and look at the potential possibilities. Bob, how many people do we have in our organization currently?
As of today, well, the company has 27,000 total between the 4 owners and the 4 master distributors. And your team with Robert and I together have 21,000.
Actually, it's 22 now.
Yeah, see, real time.
Real talk. So we're not going to use those kind of numbers. We're going to break this down to the bare minimum, and we're going to show you the potential. So I'm going to say that maybe Bob and I I only have 1,000 people. Okay. So we're going to use a figure of 1,000 people, right? My math people need to get ready. We're going to have a little fun with this. The company tells me they expect the mall income to generate between $3.50 to $5 per sale through 20 levels. Okay, 20 levels. So we're going to lowball that for you. We're going to make the math easy, and we'll say maybe it will only work out to be $3, at least in the beginning. Folks, if I got 1,000 people and I make $3 per product, okay, how much did I make off my mere 2x20? $3,000. Folks, for those of you that haven't made $500 a month, would 3,000 make a difference to your life? Would it change your life at all? Right? So let's dig a little deeper. Okay? So we're going to walk over, say 50% went over here to the unilevel. How does it work? Well, I have 2 people. I still only have 2 people to this day. So I got Bob and Robert. That they're going to pay me 50% of what they make over here. What Bob makes over here and Robert makes over here, they're going to give me 50% match. So we're going to lowball it. We're going to cut it in third. I made 3,000 over here, right? But we're going to pretend that Bob and Robert only made $1,000, not 3,000. So if Bob and Robert made $1,000, how much did I make with a 50% match on my first level? Now remember, each, right? So 2 times 500 is what? $1,000, right? So from Bob's effort and Robert's effort, I made another $1,000. So, but now it's going to get interesting. On level 2, I only get 20%, but there's 4 people making 1,000, right? So I added what? $800 more, right? Right? That's correct. But what about level 3? Now that's 8 people. 8 people on level 3. 8 times 1,000 is what? 8,000, right? What is 10% of that 8,000? 800. So it's 800 more on the next level. Okay. So level 4 is 16 people, right? Everybody catching on? How much did I make? My mathematician, how much did I make? 10% on my level 4, 16 people, 1,600 more, folks. And level 5, 10%, 32 people times 1,000, 3,200, right? Did I not just make more by cutting this in a third than I did over here? Folks, when you combine your mall incomes, this is the foundation, and the money is where it's at. This is just your mall income. We still have one more income source we'll need to share with you, but now we're gonna qualify it up front. It takes longer to develop that income, so it's a slower process. This is now process money, right? This will get you through while creating a life-changing income for you. Will it change your life? How many people remember the real estate crash in 2008? Give me a 1 if you remember the real estate crash in 2008. Most people all at least read about it, right? Don't remind you, okay? Here's the catch, folks. $500 more in income would have saved at least 70%, if not 80% of those mortgages that collapsed. That's the difference. $500 more a month would have saved tremendous numbers of people from foreclosures that destroyed their lives. Okay? We're showing you how the numbers work in the least hyped up ability we can. We lowball the numbers, and yet the numbers do what? They show you they can take care of you if you develop this, right? So remember that we're kind of getting repetitious, but 20 goes in the compensation plan for a member, 9 to the back office. Okay. They have what we call cash back. They don't get cash, they get cash back credit to buy more stuff from the mall. Okay. They can earn only 10 levels deep. That's it, folks. There's one exception, and we're not going to cover it just yet. VIP member. Remember what a VIP member is. A VIP is an ambassador that failed to get at least one person in their first 30 days. Okay? They'll revert to a VIP member until they do what? Bring in their first person, sponsor one person. Okay? So VIP members are going to be rare, but it does give you time to help that person get to where they need to be. Now, VIP members get paid 12 levels. 12 levels of shoppers. And they do get income earning from step 1 of the compensation plan. No personally sponsored members. Okay. Now, if you happen to get somebody fall under you, the VIP member will get $50 for those individuals that fall under him on this first level. Okay. And the person that created the spillover gets the other 50. It is not like the other part of the compensation plan, which we're about to go into. Okay. So you have 30 days to personally sponsor at least one. Folks, don't bring yourself short. Go get you two people, get it over with, be done, and never have to deal with the idea of a VIP. It's just not in your best interest. Your best interest is to go ahead and build your business. Ambassador, this is where you want to be. Ambassador level 1 is where we start. Okay? The cost. Okay? 129. 9 goes to back office. 20 goes into the compensation plan. Remember, the company gave you extra 5 to do shopping with. That's where the 20 went. Okay? So the 129 is auto financing. What's that mean? Auto financing. Okay? Sounds confusing, doesn't it? Auto financing just means, all it means is it's coming out of your profits month after month after month without coming out of your back pocket. Okay? See, the number one reason people quit an opportunity is what? They're putting money in, but they're not getting anything back. They just see it going out the door. Folks, if it's coming out of your profits and not out of your back pocket, what's the chances that somebody's going to quit when it doesn't cost them anything? Give me a 5 if you understand that. The biggest weakness in our industry is what? People dropping out on you. We just eliminated that part of it, right? We eliminated 2 things. Did we not just eliminate the auto ship you were paying every month in some company? Right? We eliminated the auto ship and the dropout both. That's as crazy as it gets, guys. You get your $25 at ACC for future shopping. Income potential from 2 million shoppers. What, folks? 2 million shoppers. That's a big number. Big number. And yet, in our first 12 months, we're going to exceed 1 million. Okay? 1 million. Isn't that crazy? Now, Ambassador has sponsored 1 or more participants. Guys, get you 2, be done with it. Automatic cash back.
Automatic cashback is a trend that is just getting started in this industry. Even Amazon,
there you go, Daniel.
Even Amazon is not doing this, ladies and gentlemen. And for all of you that think that you're coming in too late, there will never, ever be too late. And the reason why is everybody shops online for something. Amazon had a 30-year jump on us. And Jeff Bezos could have used this same business model and did not. And Jeff Bezos could have used the Groupon business model and did not. We are. And neither the new Amazon owners or the owners of Shopify or the owners of eBay or any of these other e-commerce projects that are trending to the stratosphere, because that's where money is going now, is to online shopping. And if you don't believe that, all you need to do is take your own survey like I did. And 9 out of 10 people that I've surveyed for the last 30 days have all said the same thing. They shop online because they have a better selection. They shop online because they have the opportunity to save money. That's couponing. We will have the Groupon model as well. You will have a coupon that has your link embedded in your coupon. How many coupons are you going to be able to give out? One of the things that you're not even thinking about is your local communities. How many local business owners do you know that would like to collaborate with us? How many would like to take their coupon and put it in the shopping mall for people to use, especially with franchise restaurants? We're already working on a deal with a number of franchise restaurant chains. There's so much going on behind the scenes that you all aren't aware of yet that will become revealed soon enough. But the main thing I jumped in here in the middle of this is because if you don't know anybody that shops online, well, I'm just going to tell you, there's no way that you don't know at least 2 people that shop online, want to save money, want to get cash back, and then want to get paid to shop in their own mall. Give us a 10 if you want to shop online in your own mall, you want to use a coupon in your own mall, you want to save money in your own mall, and you want to get cash back on your debit card in your own mall, and then you want to get paid every day. Now, the question you got to ask yourself is, who are you not going to share this with? Back to you, Gary.
All right, guys, we're going to get to the nuts and bolts of the third compensation plan. And we're going to realize that this takes time. Okay, particularly when you're first starting out. So our cost is 120. Remember, 9 goes to our back office. So we're spending 120. We have a one-time payment. Okay. The company is going to give you on your first level, right out the gate, $200. Okay. On the first 2 people.
Hey,
Folks,
Gary,
yeah.
I know we don't like stopping, but ask the question, because this is the foundation. This is the third income stream, folks. This isn't the first income stream and the only income stream. This is the third income stream, and this is the foundation of it all.
Yes.
How many people on this call, I want you, all you folks that are first time here or brand new here or just guest here, I want you to see this. How many people on this call have at least 2 ambassadors under them right now? Give me a 1. I want you to see this, guests and first timers. There's 111 on this call. 111 on this call. It was a 1, Amy, not a 3.
Yeah.
And the reason I want you to understand this is this foundation tells your potential prospect that once they paid their one time out of pocket, they will never pay anything again as long as they have their 2 people. And if you can't get 2 people to invest one time out of their pocket for their own mall in what I just told you how ours is going to work, then this is not for them. This is not for them. So what you're capable of doing is 97% of people that don't make money online don't make it for 3 reasons. The main reason is they don't know how to run a business. We teach you for free. And if you think you know how to run a business, then you're going to prove it to me, because that means that you're making $10,000 a month every month, month in, month out. My daughter makes that and more. My son makes that and more. So they know how to run a business. So do Gary and I. Okay. We are teaching you how to run a business. That's number one. Number two, when you're giving somebody, the owner, your money up front, and you're giving that owner that money every single month, who is making the money? Somebody put it out there. When you're giving the owner of a business, and I know a bunch of you are probably still doing this right now, you're giving an owner $30 a month, $50 a month, maybe $100 a month. Who is getting the money? Only 2 people in that equation. The owner first, and the top 3%. You remember I said 97%. The top 3% only. And that's the way it's been for 100 years until today. With that information alone, you should be able to bring 100 people from those businesses, because I'm telling you, that's where they're coming from right now. We haven't even started talking to the influencers yet, and we will. We haven't even started talking to the company owners of businesses that are doing this to people that don't have their own mall yet, but we are already talking to them. And they know that we are going to start paying people this weekend, and they don't want anything to do with us, but too bad for them. Okay, Gary. So I just wanted to make sure before we get into a Q&A and stuff that you understand what you really have in front of you, and understand why you look. I will never listen to anybody ever try to talk to me about saturation ever. I grew up in Amway. Amway is over 60 years old and still has an active paid membership of over 1 million people. There is no such thing as saturation, period. All right, back to you, Gary.
Guys, so here's the thing. The company you're paying in $129, $120 is a one-time payment, right? So your income potential when you bring your first 2 people, it's not potential, it's what it is. It's going to pay you $200. Here's my question for new people. Is 200 more than 120 or 129 for that matter? Give me a 1 if you see that 200 is more than. Now, new people, is anybody going to drop out when you're in profit or not reaching in their wallet month after month? Does that not give you time to develop those people and help train them, work with them, help them get there too? Right? And help them teach there too, how to get to? Right? This is the system we've created. If I ask Bob right now how many people he's personally sponsored, I already know the answer before I ask him. He's going to tell me I've got 2 personally sponsored people.
My wife only has 2. My daughter only has 2. My son only has 2. My senior leadership team each only have 2. Their people only have 2. That's the only way we built this. And that's why we are exploding.
Robert, who is your upline leadership? We'll stop for a second. Normally we do this at the end, Robert.
Cindy told Robert, shame on you.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that. All
Well,
right, Robert, let's do this. When we get to Q&A,
yeah.
pop back in and let's see if we can kind of guide you to where you need to go.
Part of that challenge, just so we're all clear on the same page, is that we have people that are not following the rules, Cindy. We have people that don't want to follow the rules, don't want to show up for the Zooms, don't want to watch the replays, don't want to plug into the training. And then they are the first ones to say, what? It doesn't work. It is a scam. I want my money back. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. So the challenge for this person, and we're not picking on you, Robert. We want to help, we will help you. I promise you one thing. If Gary and I tell you we're going to help you, you have our word. Okay. I don't care where you are in the
Doesn't
organization.
matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay. What does matter is the process that we've taught for 6 months is obviously not being followed. Obviously not being followed. Because the only way that you qualify right now to be in this part of the launch is that you knew that you were making your one-time investment and you had it ready, and you knew you had to bring 2 people with you, period. No negotiating. There is no, well, I'm going to try to get 2 people. Let me think if I know 2 people. No. And that tells me one most important thing, that the process that I've been teaching for 6 months was not followed, not even close. And that distresses me. And people like Amy Carpenter that have been with me for 8 years knows how I get when I'm distressed about people not following what we teach. Look, wait, hang on a second, Gary. I got to tell you all this. Something very, very, very critical that you need to hear that you don't want to hear from nobody. Some of you on this call think that this is a play, this is a game. Some of you on this call think that this is something that we're just doing because we don't have anything else better to do. Some of you on this call may think that, well, you know what? You guys got in early and you're making all the money. Wrong. I have people below me, below my wife, below my daughter that are already making more money than all of us right now, because that's the way this business model was designed. But it doesn't matter. None of this matters. None of it matters if you don't follow the process and the principles that we've set up 6 months ago, without a link, without the website, without the use of the name of the company, and without any advertising. We built this with 2 each. In the first week, 100, the second week, 250, and so on and so forth. And then we hit what I call a critical point at 2,500 with Gary and I a couple of months ago. And that has exploded already to 20,000 plus. We represent 70% of the entire company because we know what we're doing and we know how to teach. And the only ones that are not successful are the ones that are not doing it correctly and not following the training or not even plugged in at all. And I know some of you don't like hearing what I'm saying to you. Too bad. Gary knows me. I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't step on eggshells and walk around anything. And I tell you straight from my mouth that I lead because I am a leader of leaders. And I've been doing this for 40 years. And my wife and I and family are retired, debt free, because we know what the hell we're doing. And we are willing to teach people. What we're not willing to do is listen to excuses. Now, this may ruffle a bunch of y'all's feathers. I don't care. Just so you know, I'm not here for you to like me, not here for you to love me, but I am here and I am due respect because I know what I'm doing. And those that follow what we teach and plug in and give the hours that they can, they are the ones that have no problem doing any of this. All right, Gary, back to you.
All right, guys. I think we reached the point we understand that when you get your first two people, you're home free, you're qualified, 20 levels. Okay, initially 12 levels, but we're going to cover that. Okay. So, as an ambassador, we're going to get paid 12 levels initially from the mall side of it, right? 12 levels. Remember, members, VIP members only get paid 10, right? So how do we open up the rest of this? Okay. Step 2. Remember, we made 200 over here, right? To qualify for step 2 is going to cost us 200, but we're not reaching in our pocket. Again, it's auto financing. Income potential 600. When we develop that level, and everybody in that level has their qualifications, okay? We now open up 14 levels. $600 more. Step 3, income potential, 1,400. Now it costs $330 to upgrade to that level. Okay? $330. Do you think that there's enough money in the bank to pay for the next step, guys? If they're gonna pay us 1,400 when we get there, takes a little while. Okay? Well, it's 440. Do you think out of this 1,400, we can afford the 440, guys? Now, when we get there, we've opened up 18 levels on our mirror 2x20. At the same time, here we're qualified for 20 levels, and we're going to show you how that works. But right now, we're only worried about what? Developing our first 5 levels and helping them get their first 5 levels themselves. Okay? 5 levels. Write that down. And again, step 5 or level 5 costs $550. It's coming out of your profits. It's not coming out of your wallet. Right? Everybody see that? Any confusion? All out of profits, not out of pocket. Now, I want to qualify this. While you're building this, remember our mall income is taking care of us. There'll also be money you're making over here. It won't be the full thing. It takes a little time to fill this in. Okay? 62 people. That's correct. There are 62 people in your first 5 levels. 32 of them are on level 5. So, immediate playout plan as an ambassador. Again, we're just kind of rehashing what we did before, right? Step 3, step 4, step 5, 62 people. Okay. Now, you have to help your people get to what? What do you want to teach them how to do? Remember, this is our third income stream. Our third income stream. Okay? You can see the numbers where they're at. When you add all these numbers up, they're going to add up to something special for you. Okay? Gross income. 11,400 when you help your 62 get down to their 32. Okay, less the expenses, auto finance, not coming out of your pocket, of 1640 a month. That's what's coming out every single month. So you net income 9751. Folks, new people. We showed you a bunch of money from the mall, but do you think that another 9751 a month coming in might change your life in any way? New people, give me a 5 if you think that this is starting to look like it could change your life a little bit. Right? Have you ever seen anything like this prior till today? Nothing close. Nothing's ever happened like this. Right? That's what I want you to remember. You came in, you spent $129 to join. You work with somebody in the team to help you get your 2, right? What happens? From there on, you're developing your team. You're working with your team and to try and drive it down. Now, when Bob and I first started, actually he says 6 months, but really it's 5, which is okay. When Bob and I started 5 months ago, I put in Bob and Robert. They were my first 2, right? Bob put his first 2 in, Robert put his first 2 in. By the end of that first week, we had developed down to just over 100 people. Bob mentioned by week 2, we had 250. But where we saw this explode was when we hit 2,300 people beneath us, which wasn't all that long ago, right? When we hit 2,300, this team blew up, and today we average 600 or more per day into the team, 600 or more per day. So when you build your team to that 2,000, 2,500 range, that's when things tend to really take off and you're home free. You'll never look back. But I want to ask the question so the new people can see this. I don't know how many of the team leaders on the call, how many people on the call have at least 1,000 members in their group? Do you have anybody on the call with 1,000 members? Give me 1 if you have 1,000. David's got 1,000.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
got a few thousand.
David, how many roughly do you have? 12,886. So when you saw the explosion, David, here's my question for you, David. How close am I to being accurate to say between 2,000 and 2,500, your group took off and you never looked back? That's what I figured, right on the money. That was where, when you hit that group, okay? See, Bruce, we know where you're at because we were already there, right? We have people with just massive numbers underneath us and growing at such a rate that we can't track it anymore because you reach what we call momentum in your growth. We
One
all
of the one of the things that I mentioned earlier was the fact that I'm focused on Amazon customers. Gary and I are directly connected now. We talk daily. We can pick the phone up and talk daily to the owners. to the master distributors and to the admins over operations, over programming, and IT. That's how close we are to the top of this whole organization. And the significance of this is not for us, it's for all of you. The significance of where Gary and I are positioned in this company is not about us, it's for all of you. And just like I said, Amazon has been out here for 30 years. That's all. They got a 30-year jump on us. I will tell you that in the next 3 to 4 years, we will get a big jump on them.
Yeah,
When you agree with that, Gary?
I do.
And they're not going to change their business model. Why? I'll give you an example. Netflix. Netflix is a prime example. Well, Netflix has 100 million users. They got the opportunity to do something different. And when they didn't, they lost 20 million of their users. You know what they said? So what? That's what they said to their 20 million users that they lost. And then they proceeded to turn around 5 years later and pick up 40 million back. So why do I say this? Because Amazon could care less about what Gary and Bob and Des Alpes doing. And they don't care if we take 20 or 30 million of their people and it's just their people. And we will. We just will. Go ahead, Gary.
Lisa, I'll come back to that question when we get to Q&A, if it's okay. Because I don't want to drag it out too long.
Yeah, we're already almost an hour and a half. It's my fault.
No big deal. So, the hybrid structure. Okay. We are a hybrid. Why? Because we're taking the same people into 3 different compensation plans. 3 different ones. 2x24s. Unilevel. And we went over these numbers in great detail, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on the screens. Again, it's 50% from each of your directly sponsored, 20 on your second level, 10, 10, and 10 paid monthly. The mall is always paid monthly. Okay. The other 2x20 we just covered is paid daily. Okay. So we're going to talk about the conclusion here, and then we'll go into some short Q&A if it's okay. But access the most generous compensation plan on the planet. Des Alpes gives back 100%.
Hold that thought, Gary.
Okay.
And there's a reason why I want Gary to hold that thought. Now, all of you smart people on this call are looking at that statement right there. And if you didn't hear what I said earlier, you won't understand why this is a true statement. Des Alpes gives back 100%. Now, I know what you're doing. You're sitting there, well, wait a minute. They're the owners. Yeah, you said there's 4 of them. Yep, there is. And there's a reason you want 4 owners and not 2 or not 1. Okay. And those of you that are real smart business people understand that too. But here, if you didn't hear me correctly, is the reason why Des Alpes can give back 100% and is willing to. They are all in the business, just like you and I. Do you understand what that means? Give me a 1 if you understand what that means. Give me a 2 if you do not. If you do not understand what that means, because this has never happened before either. Yes, owners will take their relatives and put them in at the top with a master distributor and so on and so forth. That's not what I'm talking about. Owners for the last 100 years are owners. because they believe that they should get 90% of the money back. Because why? Because they've got their money in it. It's their money. I get that. Look, these owners, they're all, and their families, just like my family and me, just like Gary's family and him, they're all in the business themselves as members, ambassadors, just like every one of us. So they have, if they're going to do anything, they're going to give 100% back. Why? Because they get it too. Go ahead, Gary.
All right, guys. Now, daily shopping will create a life-changing residual income for all members. Okay. Future customers impacts steps 6 and 7. We explained this in the training. Okay. We have changed the training day to Thursday. Training is now held Thursday instead of Saturday. For those of you that are Seventh-day Adventists or the Sabbath is important to you, this frees our training day up to Thursday and allows you to participate, I'm happy to say, rather than have be stuck with a replay. Now I'm gonna clarify this because this has been changed as of this morning. The crypto debit credit card coming soon is now around the corner and should be ready by launch date. Okay, February 1st range. Okay. Be an internal card initially, but you can order a hard one. We got clarification this morning that as soon as they get the API set up, they'll be testing it a couple days before and should be active by the 1st. How about a woohoo on that one, guys? Shopping store with many products. The update on this, they expect it, they're hoping to have it live by the 15th. I'm hoping so too. Highest cashback return to the community. Roadmap in progress to build the world's strongest shopping community and the largest at some point. Okay, not just the strongest, but the largest.
And you heard part of the business model is Groupon. How
Yeah.
many people do you know that use coupons when they go make purchases online or offline? Is there anybody here that doesn't? Give me a 2 if you've never used a coupon to save money purchasing anything online or offline. Give me a 2 if you've never used a coupon. Wow. Okay. I can tell you that the majority of the world will want to use a coupon to save money with. So now who are you going to share it with, right? And you got to understand that this is bigger than anything that you're even able to think or get your head wrapped around right now, because building your mall is like you having the mall that you go drive up to and walk into and go to the different stores. But it's going to be yours and it's online. Yeah, we're starting out with over 200 products. Some of the mall openings are going to have 300 or more. There'll be thousands of products. This is going to be exactly like Amazon. Doesn't matter if you use the word Amazon. They don't care anyway. It's going to be exactly like Amazon, except all of our pricing structure already by the third-party contractor that is building the mall for us has priced everything based on the Amazon business model. And we're already saving money without the use of coupons. And then you add that on top of the cash back, and you add on top that you're getting paid to shop in your own mall. And then you can go to your local business people. We've got a gentleman on this call right now that I work directly with that's got his own retail shopping business. where he lives. He's going to get the opportunity to do what with his top of the line clothing chain? Put it in the mall. You, yeah, yeah. We're just getting started. All right, Gary.
All right, guys. You're gonna be part of a business like no one's ever seen before. This is a new type of structure. Okay. So we're gonna ask you to take action. New people. We want you to get back with the person that invited you to this presentation. Commit to building something unique, something different. Okay. And when I say that, folks, this is the easiest business you've ever built. It will take only one thing. Put a little effort into it. It'll pay you back thousands and thousands and thousands of times. Okay. I'm going to qualify. We don't generally talk about money at all. Bob and I almost never do. But I will tell you this. When Bob and I first looked at this, we set a goal. And Bob and I talk about this and laugh about it all the time, don't we?
Yep.
We set the same goal. Bob has the same exact goal I have. Get to $10,000. And how long did it take us to realize that we had set our goals way too low?
Probably in the first week.
For about week, 10 days, maybe. We realized we had something special, folks. 10,000 means nothing in this business. Okay? There are going to be people in this business. There's actually some on this call, even I'm gonna qualify that will be in hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. We're talking generational type of wealth. Okay. But it
There you
wasn't
go,
built.
Bruce. There you go.
Yes, there's going to be somebody that gets there, Bruce.
Oh, I guarantee you.
Guarantee you. But that's not our design. Our design, remember the statement we made back a while back. To get more money in average people's hands than any legit opportunity on the planet. Right? It's about the people that haven't made money. We're all about that. We're about the people that failed. If we could get people that have failed to make $500 and get them past $10,000 a month, what do you think it does for their family and their belief levels and who they are? There you go, Cindy. That's a great goal. Okay? It's a great goal.
You know, Gary is absolutely right. And we were ridiculed. Yes, we were.
Yes, we were.
We were ridiculed because we decided that we were going to change the industry. We changed the industry. Gary and I did. And how did we do that? We told the world that we were not going to sponsor 100 people because we could. And we did not teach any of our leadership to sponsor 100 people each because they could, and so on and so forth. Because this holds true from the top of our organization through the bottom, even to this day. 2 people, and then they went looking to help 2 people, to help 4, to help 8, 16, and 32. And that is your core. Your foundation is 2, your core is 62. And then once you get to that point, there is no stopping this. We proved that as well. And so we also proved that you turn the pyramid, if you want to call anything a pyramid, this is not a pyramid scheme. This is an upside down pyramid. What does that mean? That means that 90% of the people that are with us right now, which we just proved to you a little while ago, are already in profit. We're not even launched to the public yet. 90%, not 10%. 90%. And so it doesn't matter where you start today. The only thing that matters is that you start today. Right, Gary?
That's it. That's the bottom line right there. So guys, here's what we want to say to you. Once you get back with that person that invited you to the call, make the commitment, plug into our system, and run with it. Okay? How long it takes you to get to isn't what is important as it is to get to two and help the two. Get your two, help your two, and teach the same exact thing.
Okay, is there anybody here that would like about a 30-second training gold nugget? Give me a one if you want 30 seconds of training, and it's a gold nugget that you can take right now, walk out your front door, and immediately have your two people. Immediately. And the only ones that don't do this, that don't make this happen, is because they don't do what I'm getting ready to tell them. Okay? All right. 30 seconds. Here we go. 4 words. Do you shop online? That's it. Now, how can I qualify that in what I just said? Well, first of all, I'm bold enough to ask people if they shop online and I don't know them. Now, wait a minute, Bob, you just stop strangers in the street? No, I did not. I'll give you a couple of examples. Everybody has a routine in their day. You're at work, you're around the water cooler. You're at work, you have lunch with somebody. You're at work, I can go on and on and on. Okay, you're not at work. You're out running errands. You're at the doctor's office. You're in the grocery store. You run into somebody, hey, and you talk a normal conversation. We always start all things in marketing with us with a simple conversation, and it can't get any simpler, ladies and gentlemen. Do you shop online? I was at my heart doctor's office. I don't know any of the 4 nurses and the 2 receptionists. I don't know them, haven't been there in a year. I'm standing there in front of people and they're taking my information. And I said, hey, ladies, a quick question. Do any of you ladies shop online? Out of the 6, not one said they did not. And they were laughing at me because they didn't understand why I even asked them that question. Do you shop online? That is your icebreaker. That is your intro, no matter who you are talking to, no matter if it's a family member. We're not going to talk about money. You're going to talk about the things that they do already. 90% of people that are buying in the e-commerce industry shop online, and that is going to the roof. Do you shop online? And they say, well, yeah. And 3 of them say, well, why do you ask? And they did. They say, why do I ask? I said, well, good question. And why is that a good question? Because they want more information. You have to see the signs. So when somebody comes back to you and says, well, why are you asking? That was your door open to say something very simple. The next thing is, well, let me ask you a question. When you shop online, do you get to save all the money that you would like to? Do you listen to the question? When you shop online, are you saving all the money that you would like to? That leaves nowhere to go except the answer that you want. Well, of course, I want to save as much money as I can. I said, and let me ask you another question. While you're shopping online and saving the money you want to, would it be okay if we could get you the same type of things that you're shopping for right now with the same quality and the same or better customer service at the same time? Well, who's going to say no to that? You see what this is doing? This is a step-by-step process from a yes, a yes, a yes, a yes to guess what the close is. Oh, and by the way, if we could give you a debit card that would give you 1.5% cash back on everything that you do right now, including in your own mall, and then pay you a commission at the same time. How many people did you think asked me for my link or my business card? Tell me. How many people do you think asked me for my link or my business card? All of them, all 6 ladies. I did not know them. I was just brave enough and bold enough to just simply start a single small conversation with the average person. Now, how many times a day can you do that? I don't know. How many times a day do you want to do it? This is why I tell each and every one of you, there is absolutely no reason for anybody on this call right now to not have at least their first 2 people today. Thank you, Gary.
To have the 2 videos that have been approved, the why video and the comp video handy.
I don't know about the comp video.
Um,
We need to get that one from Denis. There's one
yeah,
out.
yes.
That's one we got to be using anyway. I can get you the why video pretty quick. Hang on. And we'll talk
There we
about the
go.
why. We'll
There we
talk
go.
about the why video real quick and why the why video is so important that the president of the Alpes himself asked me for it this morning. Yes, he did.
Folks, here's the thing we want you to understand. Before we ever talk to somebody about the business, we use 2 videos. One is the why. We give them the why. Without the why, you don't move forward. They don't have a reason to do it. Okay? The comp plan comes after the why video. Okay? Because if they have their why before they watch the comp plan, they'll pay attention to the comp plan and see this is vastly different than anything they've ever seen. Okay?
Can everybody understand what Gary's talking about? There is a process to the process, and it's very simple. You got to be talking to people that trust you already. This isn't for strangers. This is for people that are in your circle of trust. If you don't have any people in your circle of trust, you need to rebuild it. That's a different training. But people that trust you will take the time to look at something that you're trying to share with them, and you don't tell them what it is, and you don't explain anything. First rule of marketing 101 when you're using videos. The purpose of videos are to do the sharing and the telling and the quote closing for you, 90% of it. So you're right. The first video, I created this in the first week, and it is the vision of the company and us, Gary and I, which is one global community changing lives, one family at a time. That is the vision. Then you have to have a mission. The mission is how you're going to do it and for whom you're going to do it for. Okay, so again, what's the vision? The vision is one global community, which that's what we are. Gary and I are in 60 countries already. And we're going to have them all in 100 countries very quickly. And we are legal to do business in 160 countries. But that is the mission. The mission is to reach out and touch anyone that wants to change their lives financially. And it is in steps. The first step is to make the decision to make the change. That's where you make the one-time investment. The next step is that you onboard them and plug them into training. That is why if they don't have the why, then the how-to doesn't matter because they won't do the how-to. Gary and I have been doing this for 60 years together. I've got 20 to 30, he's got 40. The owners and the master distributors, you saw that. They've got over 200 years of combined experience in the e-commerce industry, the industry that you are getting into. They know what they're doing too. But my point is the why. The why is you want to do something to help your family. Here's another gold nugget, free of charge. If you're okay with working the 40 to 50-year plan and having both you and your wife or you and your partner work while your kids are managed by other people in the schools, give me a 1. If you're okay with that, if you're okay with building somebody else's dream, because that's what working for the owner of a business is, give me a 1. Now, what I'm not talking about is why you're doing it. We know why you're doing it, because you have to for now. I have an old saying that I tell people: you're going to do what you got to do until you ain't got to do it no more. Write that down. Put that in your head. That develops part of your why. The why video goes into deep in 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, you're going to know whether this is for you or not. And if it is, then you got to know how you're going to do it. And that how-to video gives you just enough information that creates questions. And that is not for you to answer. That is for an approved leader to answer. Everybody that follows this process are exploding their teams. Everybody that doesn't follow this process are doing absolutely nothing but complaining. That's simple. It's just that simple. And so we did this without any of what you're seeing. Exactly like this, by private invitation, no link, no website, no name of the company. Isn't that right, Gary?
Oh man, we had nothing to work with but one video with inaccuracies in it.
Yeah, and that was the beginning. We developed all our own videos, and now we're translating them into different languages, way ahead of the Alpes themselves. That's why we are where we are with the ownership, and they're relying on us to help them because we have the experience. You could not be in a better place at a better time with the right people. And again, this is not about Gary and I. My wife is already making more money than I am. My daughter is almost making as much as my wife. My son is just getting started because he came in last. So what's the difference? You want to sit there and say, well, Bob and Gary, you brought 20,000. We did not bring 20,000 people. No, ma'am. No, sir. We brought 2. They brought 2. They brought 2. They brought 2 from the top down, because people could see that we were getting them in profit first. And once you're in profit, you're in profit. I want to make sure, especially the new folks on this, get this, okay? And we didn't have them all to even talk about. You all are in the perfect time of all of this happening at one time and happening this week. The owners of this company have been waiting 7 years. Gary and I talk about that. We've been waiting 20 years for something like this to actually happen. And that's correct. 20 years for the change of an entire industry to happen. That's what we've been waiting for. But we've only been in this for a little over 5 months. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the biggest thing since somebody even invented network marketing or MLMs, bar none. Bar none. And it's all about what you are already doing. Right, Gary?
Yes. Okay, you'll need to get back with the person that is your sponsor, but if you've already paid your admin fees, all you need to do is log in, and you should have a button at the bottom of your homepage. All you do is click it.
No, they don't have that anymore, Gary.
Oh, really?
Nope. You know they don't. They quit. If they haven't paid the 120 when they paid the 45, only got 3 buttons. They don't have the 120 button back there, as far as I know.
No,
Now, if they do, then that means he still has it. But I knew
yeah,
he was going to have it for a certain length of time. So we need to get probably need to get a ticket in for
yeah, you're
Kay.
gonna have to get a ticket in that situation. Do you have the, do you have to have the support? Somebody that can access that, can you give it to Kay privately, please?
Yeah, we don't want to be sending a bunch of support tickets right now because it's too critical. Right now, this is we are on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. We have never been closer to now than we have been from 5 months ago to this point after the meeting we had today, because the final solution was resolved on how we're going to get paid, and that is done all in one fell swoop with our own debit card. It'll be virtual to begin with, but debit card just the same. And you will be able to either get paid in crypto or you'll get paid in US dollars, and you'll be able to move those dollars to a US bank or a bank, as long as you take, as long as you're able to use a credit or debit card, no matter where you live right now, you will have ACH direct deposit capabilities, or you'll have the option of crypto, either one. So Margaret, what is the, for a new prospect, what is the price to join? There's three different ones. You're either coming in as a member, or you're coming in as a VIP member, or you're coming in as an ambassador, and all three buttons are in that back office.
You actually can't come in as a VIP member. That's a VIP member is only an ambassador that didn't get their one person at least in 30 days.
Well, they've changed that then.
They changed that.
So, but that's all right. This is a startup. So most of y'all would never be involved in a startup and never see what's going on in the back office right now. Speaking of that, for all you guys that are members here, you all are the first, well, 97 people left on this call of 20,000 that are getting this information that just came out this morning. So if you're leaders, if you are leaders, you need to take it back. Get in your back office immediately after you get off this call and make sure that you check when you log in at the bottom of your back office. You're going to see the section that's already got levels 1 through 5 check marked, meaning that you're in automatic for levels 1 through 5. Level 6 and 7 cannot be automatic. You have to check those off to be automatic. Okay. So, especially any of you here that were in the rebuild part to get the matrix set up now for this week to go to being paid, you better check mark that Ambassador 6, or they're not going to take it out. And yes, those commissions will fly by you. You'll get them back, but there's no reason to do it that way. And so, yes, because we have to tell you, levels 1 through 5 are already on default automatic. Our suggestion to each and every one of you here, and you tell your people, is to leave those alone. Do not mess with that. It's, what I tell you, the analogy that I use is like micromanaging your checkbook. And what does that mean? That means that you get paid once a month or twice a month, and you know when you got to pay your bills. And that would be like you going in and deciding, well, you know what, that $200 that's supposed to go to pay that electric bill, I think I'll just spend that money and take a chance. That's what you'd be doing, taking a chance on not getting your commission for the month, commission for the day, because you didn't leave that level automatic. Leave levels 1 through 5 on automatic and go ahead and check level 6, so that when you get to level 6, your money will be there. We've already been through all this, and they will take it out, and that's your 1 year $1,100 expense that only comes out once per year. And by the way, y'all are not going to notice this that have been with us, that we are not paying our expenses for this month. That's right. When you look at it, you'll see that your expenses are not going to start coming out again as this is being rebuilt for until March. Folks, nobody does that. Nobody in their right mind of an owner in this day and age just says, well, you know what, we're gonna gift you a month of expenses. But they just did it because they're rewarding us for being patient with them and waiting for all of the things that are coming. Y'all got to understand how big a deal that is. How big a deal this is. And yes, those of us that were already Ambassador 6, they had taken 1,100 out. They are putting it back into our commissions as they rebuild this. And so, yes, it's going to come back out. So make sure you guys, you know who you are. Get back there and check that Ambassador 6 box to be automatic and save it. You don't just check it and walk out of there. You have to check it and then save it and make sure that it refreshes and it shows that it's checked. So anybody got any questions on that right now? Yeah, you need to read those messages. Okay. And you're not going to, if you don't have anybody under you right now, obviously you're not going to have anybody under you, right? Well, if some of your members are still showing the 120 button, that means it's still active. And that Antonio, who is the lead programmer, has not pulled that button out yet. Marvin, how many people are you supposed to have under you? And if they haven't got to you yet, you got to remember, we built this from the top down. There's a lot of you on here that are just getting started that they haven't got to you if you've got people under you, but they will get back to you. And your directory tree will populate first, and that will set you up for your matrix. You know, I got 21,000 in my back office. Okay, well, I don't have 21,000 people back on my directory tree going into the matrix yet because it's being rebuilt, just like they told us. That's why you got to pay attention to what's going on these Zooms. You got to plug into the training. And again, I got to emphasize to the majority of you on this call, this is a startup. They can make changes. It's in your terms of service. They can make changes and they don't need our permission. Okay, but all the changes they've been making for over 5 months that support two major things. You have to be compliant in the 160 countries we're going in, or we would have only launched in Canada and the tier 1 countries, which is the United States, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. We're not just launching in the tier 1 countries. We're launching in 160 countries at one time. Gary and I've got 60 countries of people. Okay. So anybody else got any questions? We're coming up to the top of the second hour, and we try not to run these this long, but you know, we can't help it. Because a lot of the stuff that we do, especially when I butt in on Gary like I do, is to understand one thing about us. People want to tell you, well, you know what? I'm not going to sit on an hour or 2-hour call. Good. Don't do it. I don't like what they're saying. I don't like what they're hearing. Good. Change the channel. I'm just being perfectly honest with you all. Okay. This is a legitimate business in 160 countries because it's online shopping. Period. It's online shopping. We are just as legitimate as Shopify, as eBay, as Amazon is. They just got the jump on us, but that's okay because we will catch up. And they're never going to do the business model the way we are. They won't do it because by the time they see us coming, it'll be too late for all of them anyway. Too late. Yeah, you get a lot of information. You don't get a canned pitch. The only thing static is the presentation videos, the slides, because they have to be compliant around the whole world. And this is from the company itself now. So this slide presentation that you're seeing is why we are compliant. The other part that I didn't mention yet was what? Sustainability. For those of you that have been with us for a long time, they took out the 29,000 a month part. Why? Because it wasn't sustainable for more than 6 months to 12 months, and then we'd have been done with. The next time they made a change, they took out getting $600 per month without recruiting a single person. All that does is rewards people for doing nothing. Number one, not sustainable. Number two, it was taken out. The next thing that they did was they decided that, look, the mall was going to be, always going to be what we were going to use as our product and our products, so that we were a customer first, and then your first two are your customers. That is compliance everywhere in the world. That you're going to purchase out of the mall, that you're going to be a customer, and nobody's forced for auto ships. You know what? I'm going to throw something out at y'all. Live Good, and I know the owners personally of Live Good, personally, and I know the director of operations personally, and they were ridiculed. Why? Because they told the world that they weren't going to make anybody buy any products. And all the owners said to them, you are absolutely crazy. You two are absolutely, you've lost your mind. If you don't have an auto ship in there, nobody will make any money. You know, that's exactly what they said. And those two said, we'll see. Well, guess what? They're 24 months old now. They have almost 2 million customers and members in 120 countries that don't have an auto ship. That's correct. We will never have an auto ship. And 90% of the people that are on this call right here will buy something at least one per month with what? With their profit. Because you got to remember, you got to go back and remember, the most important thing that you should have heard today is you made a one-time payment unless you don't have your 2 people. Then you know what you got to do next. Okay? 90% of the people on this call are all ambassadors with at least 2 people or more. There is no reason that anybody can give me today that they cannot get 2 people to come up with that one-time investment of less than $200 to have their own shopping mall where they're going to get paid to use it and save money to use it and get cash back to use it and be able to offer other business people in their local communities to use it and to get them into the mall themselves because they'll want to be. I don't know, Gary, what do you think?
Well, I think if you can't see it at this point, you need to check your pulse, guys. Put
Yeah.
your right hand on your left wrist.
Yeah.
Make sure you're still pumping blood.
You
Okay?
know, I've had long conversations with all kinds of people. See, one thing that the guys that own Live Good have been able to do, but it took them about 13 months. They hit their first million in 13 months. He wanted to do it in 12. They did it in 13 months. And they were told they would never hit 1 million people. They were told they'd be shut down in 6 months because they were not forcing people on auto ships. They would be shut down in the first 6 months. And all of these people that were telling them this were the owners of other companies. Why? Because they did not want Live Good to ever launch, and they did not want Live Good to ever pay their people. I have the same kind of owners talking to me that way. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to do this. It ain't going to do that. And you're always going to do what? You're going to try to protect the 20 or 30,000 people that are giving you $50 a month. Not for very long now. They're going to get their chance to collaborate with us. Collaborate? Well, sure. Guy owns a business, network marketing company, got 20,000 people paying him 30, 40, $50 a month. He doesn't have them all. He's just got a business, but he's still got 20 or 30,000 people. Well, guess what he gets the opportunity to do? He gets the opportunity to join us. Join us. Otherwise, he knows what's going to happen because one of them already talks to me about this. And that one person already knows I've got their biggest recruiter they've ever had. And that lady has my whole right leg with Amy Carpenter. Oh, he knows what's going on. And he is like minuscule right now. Okay, so you all just need to get prepared to buckle up. You need to buckle up. You need to get serious about whether you really want to run a business. And all of you that don't know how to run a business, meaning that if you've run a business successfully, you're making $5,000 to $10,000 a month minimum, month in and month out. If you're not making $5,000 to $10,000 a month minimum, you're not running a business and you're not running it successfully. Simple as that. So you got to learn how. Either you want to learn or you don't. Back to you, Gary.
All right, guys, I'm stopped to share. We're going to pause the recording right here. And I think we're going to